Happy holidays and welcome to my channel, A J Night Sews. I'm Carrie and I wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Blessed Yule, whatever you celebrate. Or if you don't celebrate anything, a joyous winter solstice because the days will now get longer. And if you are in the Southern Hemisphere, I hope you are enjoying your summer. I'm a solstice or Yule girl myself, and it is in the single digits here in the Midwestern US, so I'm looking forward to longer and at least slightly warmer days. Today's video is about glitter, microplastics, and sewing my Gunne Sax holiday dress. I try to avoid glitter in general, but my poor choices in making this dress, which is in the style of vintage Gunne Sax gowns of the 1980s, led to a glitter cluster fort and me falling down the rabbit hole of the microplastics problem, which I'll get to in a minute. I've made a few Gunne Sax style dresses, my favorite being my Halloween version, and I haven't worn a Yuletide dress in years, but other costumers decided to make winter holiday dresses last year, and I jumped on the bandwagon. As usual, I'm late on this trend, and just now posting this video because the last year has been rough.
5 spits for an enemy.
2022. So sit back with a cup of tea or whatever you like to drink at this time of year, and I'll tell you a tale of a comfy yet alarming dress. It all started with the fabric. Costumer friends were buying holiday themed cotton from various sources, and I ended up searching Joann's website because they were having a sale. Of course. When are they not having a sale? Anyway, I scrolled through pages and pages of Christmassy fabrics, but wanted something that could work for multiple December holidays, and what felt like 2 hours later, I found this green fabric with gold swirls. My favorite color is green. Green and gold are and I am obsessed with swirls. The Fibonacci sequence of numbers is so visually satisfying. Ammonites and coiled nautiloids are my favorite fossils. The spiraling patterns in plants are mesmerizing, and swirls show up in some of my favorite movies. I frequently experience shopping exhaustion and get lazy and just want the search to be over, so I clicked buy without reading too much of the description beyond glitter scrolls green and 100% cotton, and I lived to regret it. The fabric arrived and it was clearly not 100% cotton because glitter was glued to the yellow gold scroll patterns and falling off the fabric like very pretty but terrifying dandruff. And I get it. The fiber content is the actual woven fibers and doesn't include the dyes, sizing chemicals, or microplastics used to create different colors and effects. Because yes, glitter is a form of microplastics, which are tiny pieces of plastic 5 millimeters or smaller. While other plastic objects degrade over time to become microplastics, you can buy pretty sparkly microplastics in the form of glitter. Microplastics are a problem for marine and freshwater organisms, some of which ingest the stuff instead of food and then starve to death, and others who don't reproduce as many offspring in the presence of these minuscule particles in the water. And everywhere scientists have looked, they have found microplastics, including in Antarctic ice, Arctic snow, the air, the rain, in the Mariana Trench in the ocean, and many of the fish and shellfish humans eat, and one of my geology colleagues has even found some in the lake on campus where I teach. All species on the planet are likely exposed to microplastics to some degree, which is why I'm calling the current chunk of Earth's history the Plasticine. Scientists have a lot more research to do to figure out what, if any, impacts microplastics have on human health, but it is clear they are building up in the environment and possibly our bodies. The small particles could physically irritate sensitive tissues, just like asbestos fibers do in the lungs, or break down chemically and expose us to toxic chemicals used to make the plastic. Many scientists are pretty sure microplastic levels in the environment are too low now to affect human health, but our increasing use of plastic and the estimated 5 billion tons of plastic in landfills and loose in the environment are a plastic time bomb and cause for future concern as it degrades into microplastics. Glitter is made of polyethylene terephthalate, PET, or polyvinyl chloride, PVC, and usually coated with aluminum and pigments to get the shine and different colors. The sparkly stuff is a tiny part of the microplastics problem. No pun intended, but it seems like one we could easily mitigate. I mean, is glitter really necessary? Do we need to be this shiny? I know, you can sparkle like diamonds, except it's tiny pieces of plastic, much cheaper. Glitter eyeshadow, glitter on clothing, glitter on glitter, glitter on decorations that come off all too easily, glitter everywhere. The stuff has been banned by some UK and other chain stores and festivals, and some scientists are calling for a complete ban. But the US has never been a fan of the precautionary principle, which is as mythical as the American dream for most people. Instead of proceeding with caution before mass producing something and putting it in everything from Christmas decor to craft supplies to children's clothing to quilting cotton, US government agencies, no doubt lobbied by plastics industries, assumes it's not a problem until you can prove it's a problem. And even then, if continuing its use makes money for some people, government health and safety agencies might still ignore the problem, because the economy comes first in the good old US of A. But after my entire house felt coated in glitter because of this fabric, I've instituted my own glitter ban. No more glitter shall be bought and brought into this house on purpose. We already know glitter is scary. Have you ever gotten a piece of glitter in your eye? Don't Google that unless you are not at all squeamish. My husband has worked for a few craft stores over the years, and especially around the December holidays, would come home with glitter on his skin, unintentionally, and it would not come off just by wiping it. A shower was necessary and would of course wash the glitter down the drain and into our septic tank. A friend in my high school marching band was the drum major and would fling a handful of glitter into the air at the beginning of every show. Got some of it in her inhaler, which she used before she realized, and now probably has glitter in her lungs. I probably do too, just from hanging out with her so much when we were in high school, because glitter spreads. This is a stressful topic, so here is a little cat break. So I panicked when I realized how much of the demonic dust was falling off of my Joann's fabric, and promptly washed it in hot water in a failed attempt to get it all off, which I now realize sent a bunch of the glitter into my septic leach bed. Yay. I swept my sewing room every day and used a lint roller on the cats, myself, and yes, the fabric throughout the process of making this dress, in the hopes the fabric would stop shedding glitter. It never did stop, but the sew must go on. To make this glitter monstrosity of a garment, I used 4 different patterns. I combined the general shapes from Simplicity 9893, I discontinued Gunne Sax by Jessica pattern in size 6 misses, and one with a size that would actually fit me, Simplicity 1537, to create the bodice. The skirt is from View A of McCall's M7086, one of my favorites, with a narrow ruffle at the bottom, and the sleeves are the delightfully puffy ones from Simplicity S8695 View A. Sewing the bodice together introduced glitter to my sewing machine, which I am still cleaning out a year later. I machine sewed green velvet polyester trim to the bodice front, which I also did on the sleeve cuffs and right above the ruffle on the skirt. But I hand stitched the gold trim because it looked funny when machine stitched. Not that anyone will look that closely. The vintage Gunne Sax pattern calls for fabric loops to go around the buttons at the back of the neck. So here I am making those fiddly little loops and then sewing them on between the bodice fashion fabric and lining. By this time, I was enjoying the process of sewing, even if I was still anxious about the fabric. Making something, especially something I can use, like clothing, is soothing and satisfying, and I feel at loose ends when I don't have a sewing project going. So although I feel like I betrayed my environmentalist principles by purchasing and using fabric with glitter glued to it, there was value in this project in terms of mitigating my anxiety temporarily, and because it forced me to dig deeper and learn more about microplastics and glitter. I am absolutely in love with these sleeves. The pattern may be vintage 1930s, but they remind me of the 1890s, as well as Nadja from What We Do in the Shadows. Emma approves and loved the extra attention as I made sure she wasn't covered in glitter. It's so easy to set symmetrical sleeves with gathering at the head because they are interchangeable. Another reason why I love this sleeve pattern. This might be the last invisible zipper I use because I struggle with them every time. Here's where I hand stitched the lining to the zipper because it absolutely did not work when I tried stitching the fashion fabric and the lining to it at the same time. This is also the last sewing footage I took because the high of creating was waning and the annoyance with the glitter increasing, and I thought I might trash the whole project. But I did finish it, and here I am a year later, and after much research and resolve to avoid bringing more glitter into my life, at least on purpose. I do like the dress's shape, particularly the neckline and the sleeves, and the colors and the swirls. It's my only December holiday dress, and I believe in using things until they fall apart, so I will wear it, just not out into nature. Or maybe I can use it as a Yule tree, since the cats don't try to climb it like they would a traditional Christmas tree. I don't think glitter is crucial to the sparkle and joy of the holiday season, but manufacturers certainly seem to think it is. And I guess many costumers do too, or they wouldn't buy so many items encrusted with this stuff. A ban on glitter may be pointless in the face of the immensity of plastic pollution, but I'm happy to go glitter-free in all my future shopping. Scientifically, glitter may not be harmful to humans at its current levels, unless you get it in your eye, but microplastics are harmful to our non-human co-inhabitants of this planet. And not buying glitter-coated stuff is a small price to pay to keep the small sparkly flakes out of the environment. To make a significant world-changing difference, however, we need to cut it out with the single-use plastics, reduce the plastic manufactured and used, and do everything to encourage and enable reuse of plastic and actually recycle what we cannot reuse. All of these feel like PVC pipe dreams, and some think we should let the world sparkle as we inevitably drown it in plastic. Still, this experience has taught me to steer clear of glitter and be more cognizant of other materials in my natural fiber fabrics, especially before I buy them. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know in the comments what you think about glitter, this sewing project, and the sparkliness of the holiday season in general. Until next time, bye!